Well, good morning and welcome to chapter 12. I hope your semester's going well. I still have not received some dates from groups for your presentation for Zoom. You need to get them to me as soon as you can so I can schedule them and get them in a Zoom calendar. So talk about it, let me know. We're going to talk about conflict management. It's something that's very important in today's society. Um, we have a lot of politicians that don't know how to manage conflict. So let's talk about conflict management. Conflict management, basically, conflict is a disagreement. And some say it's a desire or need for specific resources. But all in all, it's the desire for two different things. And a lot of times, believe it or not, the two different things we want aren't that far apart. So we need to learn how to manage conflict. And conflict management, conflict can be painful in terms of emotional energy. There's a lot of people that have conflicts with um, day-to-day things, little things, but they put a lot of emotion into them. They put a lot of stock into them, and when they do that, it can cause a lot of pain in terms of emotional energy. And oftentimes conflict is about substance, but the pattern of communication is what either makes it worse or makes it better, and it can be the key to the resolution, or it can be the key to what is causing a lot of the disagreement. So groups, as you found out so far, are interdependent, and they, as a group member, you rely on the other people, and a lot of times, it if you're invested in something, this really means a lot to you. You're really passionate about it. It can cause a lot of conflict. Other times, conflict is caused by participation or lack thereof. We need to get this done, and Joe or Sue or Sally in your group really doesn't seem invested in it, and they don't want to participate, and so it causes conflict when you're trying to get something done and they don't seem to want to participate. Um, Substance can cause conflict. What is this about? And diversity. If there's a lot of talk in the news lately about canceling Thanksgiving. You know, if you were born and raised in the United States and Thanksgiving is something that you've done every year of your life and your family gets together and it's great and you really look forward to it, it means something different than somebody that maybe has immigrated here and never really celebrated Thanksgiving. So it may not mean that much to them because of the culture that they were raised in. For example, when I was in Louisiana, a lot of students talked about Mardi Gras, and they were shocked to find out that Mardi Gras wasn't celebrated around the world. So, how what you were raised in your diversity and your cultural background can bring a lot to the solution and or the problem. So let's see, constructive versus destructive. Conflict can actually be very constructive. I see it this way, you see it that way. We both learn from one another, and our resolution, we grow from it and constructs. It can be destructive in the position that if I'm so set in this and this is so important to me and it's not to you, then it can cause a rift and cause us to be even more, um, even farther apart. Uh, and a lot of it deals with engagement. How engaged are you with the topic? What's your attitude toward it? How much do you have you got invested in it? And cost analysis. If it's not worth my time, If I'm not going to get out of it what I want, why should I invest the time in it? All those can be part of the constructive, destructive part of conflict resolution. So how do we go about resolving conflict? Well, there's 6 different ways according to the text and most scholars. The first and the best one is called collaboration. And collaboration is not win or lose. It's give and take. And each person in the process gives something and takes something. And generally, all the participants win. That's what I meant earlier when I said, that we're not as far apart as we think we are. A lot of times on disagreement, taking politics into consideration, since it's very big right now in our lives. A lot of times we all want something in the middle, but most of the political organizations are run by the far left and the far right, and they don't want to meet in the middle. So but if we say, this is where we need to go, um, we can get there by going this way. It was once described to me like public transportation. A bus isn't necessarily going to get you to your destination, but you're going to take the one that gets you the closest. And I think a lot of people in politics nowadays refuse to look at that, and they want an all or nothing. And we'll talk about that in a minute. A combination is okay sometimes, but generally it ends up in a win-lose situation. Well, I don't really want that, but okay. And they didn't get anything they wanted out of it, but the other person got what they wanted, and so it's a win-lose situation more than anything else. And sometimes it's okay. If it really doesn't matter to you, then go ahead and accommodate. But if it's something that matters to you and you accommodate, then later on you're going to end up resenting it. Compromise is often a lose-lose situation. A lot of people get collaboration and compromise confused. In collaboration, you both give up a little bit, but you both win a little bit. Both are the group members. In compromise, well, this is what I really want, but okay, I'll do what you want. And this is what I really want, but okay, I'll do this what you want. And neither one of you get what you really wanted, but you still meet in the middle. It can be okay, but in compromise is generally more lose lose than win win, and nobody ends up with anywhere near what they wanted. Competition, to me, is the worst one. Competition is win lose, and I'm sure you've all dealt with somebody that you were trying to resolve a conflict with, and they were going to win no matter what. And if they were going to win no matter what, and they weren't willing to compromise or collaborate or accommodate, then generally, if they win, somebody else loses drastically. And a lot of times, that's the worst thing that can happen. You have to understand that when you are working together, when you're collaborating, when you're trying to get to a certain point, the win lose has to go off the table. Avoidance is the other means. And a lot of times that happens, especially in interpersonal relationships. Well, I just don't want to fight about it, so fine, do what you want to do. And when that happens, um, like if my wife ever says, fine, do what you want, then I know something's wrong. I know that I better not do what I wanted to do because she's avoiding it. And when she's avoiding it, all it does is add mm, mm, anger or add something to the situation that is going to come back and haunt me at some point in time. So power, how do you deal with power in group? You know, if you look at our current political situation, there's certain people that are in power that are doing things their way, regardless of what anybody else thinks. And a lot of times that causes a problem. But according to the text, there's a few different types of power, and let's talk about those. Expert power. Expert power is pretty simple one to understand. If we have a group meeting and we're talking about blindness, and none of you are blind and I am, then I probably have expert power. You know, military. A lot of us were in the military, so maybe there's a few people that have different levels of expert power in the military. I was in the medical field. So if we're talking about military medicine, I may be the person that has expert power because that was where I was at. Somebody else in the group may have infantry experience, and when we're talking about infantry experience, they would be the expert in it. Interpersonal linkage power. It's all about connections. LinkedIn. Networking. Who do you know? Um, I have some friends that are in politics in Columbus, and maybe we want to change the bus route. Well, my interpersonal linkage power would connect me to those people and give me power in the group if that's what we want to talk about, because I know those people. Reward and punishment power. As a child, you probably are very familiar with this with your parents. As a parent, if you are one, you're probably familiar with your children. You know, if you want this, you need to do that. If you don't do what I want, then I'm going to punish you. Uh, Positional power, legitimate power. This person is assigned the role of Speaker of the House. This person is assigned the role of um, mayor. They have that power that is because of their position. Referent power. Referent power is power that um, you have. It's kind of like a personal power, but it's because you know these people and know these things. If I'm the oldest guy in the group, so I might get the referent power because of my age and my wisdom. I'm really smart. Charismatic power, personal power. You know, you've all met those people that has that charisma. That person that you want to follow. A lot of politicians have the charismatic power. People believe them, want to believe them, and by doing so, they feel that this person knows what they're doing, and just because I like that guy, so I'm gonna follow that person. And avoidance power is I really don't care. Um, do what you want to do, and if they need if you're in a jury and you need 100% consensus to convict somebody, if you have somebody that has I don't care, you know, don't matter to me, then I don't want to make that decision or whatever, then they have power because you need 100% unanimous. We have, if you need a majority and you've got 6 people in your group, so you're going to need at least 4 of you, and 3 of you say let's do this, and 2 of you say let's do this, and the other one, I don't. They have some power because they aren't going either way, and those are basically the power things. What I really want you to understand is conflict resolution, especially in this partisan world that we live in, is a problem. A lot of people are on far left and far right, and they aren't willing to meet in the middle. They're that win lose. They're in that competition. I got to have it my way. And I hope that this chapter opened your eyes up to some different perspective about uh, conflict resolution. And as a side note, if you haven't voted, I hope you all go vote. Um, I think it's something that we need to exercise a right that we have. I'm not going to tell you to vote right or left, Dem or Republican. I just want you to be knowledgeable about it and go express your voice and do what you think is right, because we need to elect people that are willing to listen to us and meet in the middle sometimes. So vote for whoever you want. With that, that's chapter 12. I hope it was enlightening. I hope to help you understand the chapter a little bit better. I will post this and the PowerPoints, and we have the weekly discussion set up. I'm looking forward to you folks getting with me and letting me know when your group is going to meet so I can get it scheduled. Send me some 3 possible dates. I'll let you know what my calendar says I can do. And other than that, I will see you guys in chapter 13. Well, I won't see you, but you'll see me. Have a great day.